Welcome to the Impactful Engineer Project. I'm Steve Maxey, and with my co-host and brother Jake, we are here to bring you guidance, fresh ideas, and the tools to help you become an impactful engineer.
Today on The Impactful Engineer, I'm here with my brother Steve for an authentic conversation around engineering and personal development. Our goal is to create an environment for career excellence targeted towards engineering professionals. We believe that being open about what we've learned in our own careers will benefit others in their unique journey of engineering. And ultimately, we want people to have fulfilled careers and be inspired to become the best versions of themselves.
So this podcast has a few episode types. Today is our standard episode format, which is just Jake and I presenting a topic. We introduce the why and the how around the topic and give some tips to get the conversation going and inspire some action. Usually this will be based on something you can deploy in your daily career. Often this includes a mindset shift we invite you to consider moving forward because we know and have experienced the power behind embracing mindset changes.
Our second episode type is a solo episode. It's just like the episodes with Steve and I, but it's one of us and we get quick and down to the point and they're short and it typically is like a lecture. It has a little more fire to it because we might feel like we have some strong opinions to lay down for you, but for your consideration so that you can see if you can take those mindset changes or strategies and implement them in your own career.
And about once a month, we will bring on a guest that has expertise in a particular field and share their perspective, mindset, strategies, and actionable tips based around their area of genius. The overall goal being to provide exposure to multiple thought processes and views in areas that will help you succeed. These episodes are a lot of fun and are packed with useful and thought-provoking information. Breathe.
All right. That was good. I'm trying to do some breath work. This week has been
Something else?
tough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You picked up a lot of the slack.
It's all good.
I can tell. You're online, fucking doing the clips, pushing the stuff. I was up at the same time, but doing work.
Yeah.
You know why?
Because it had to be done.
Because I got one guy that just abandoned the whole team. All right. I got a guy that's on vacation all week, right? And then I had two co-op students working with me, and they were getting up to speed, man. We were just boom, 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 getting stuff done. That train stopped this week, like dead in its tracks, man, which is cool.
Yeah.
But it means I'm doing pretty much all the same work that they were all doing, but myself now. So,
Yep.
which was okay. It's okay to do that every once in a while.
Yeah. Creston.
But damn, does it not leave any time for anything else, bro?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
So
yeah, you're cresting the peak. That's for sure.
Yeah. And then, I had to go back to like setting priorities and things that come in that people want. And I really want to get to them because it's my go-to. It's like my thing. It's like, I communicate so well and I get things done and I see the things coming in and I go, this week, I just have to let it go.
Yep.
But I'll always have a chance to catch up with them later and say, hey, it was just a hell of a week. I'm here now.
Yeah.
But it kills you in the moment, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just like the previous week where you're doing all the episode stuff and I was working on other things. And then I was like, but I want to get on and help and do all this other stuff. And
it's good that it's lining up a little bit.
Yeah.
So we can pick each other up.
Oh, yeah.
So it's good.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, hey, today I want to talk about what can be labeled as working for a do more boss, right? That person that sees you excelling and doing things quickly and then goes, oh, okay, so there's room for more. So they just give you more of the same stuff. Or they don't see that, but they just expect that they can hand things to you and just pile it on. And I mean, really pile it on. You think you're overworked. I mean, really overworked, right? And to where there's no end in sight and you're just like buried. And it's the fact that you're buried is keeping you buried, not the amount of work. It's just the stress is making you even less productive than you were the 2 weeks before. That's what we're talking about. A do more.
Yeah. And
type of situation.
And the important thing is do all that stuff, but still maintain the same timelines, maintain the same cost, etc. At the same expectations that you had with all these other projects. Oh, you have to do that with these too, and don't let the other ones slip.
No, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
You can self-duplicate
Mhm.
and just work in parallel with yourself. Sure. Absolutely. Let's throw all the wrenches in
Yeah.
there.
I mean, cloning's a
That,
thing, right?
it'll still work. Yeah. I mean, we have AI now.
Yeah.
So where's your AI pal? So yeah, okay, that's what we're talking about. So what I really wanted to do was, I mean, everybody feels this. Everybody goes through it. It happens to every single person at varying levels of their career. So what I want to talk about today, and Steve, I think you might have some good stuff to say about it, is how do we counteract that in a good way, and ultimately help ourselves to become free of that, help the boss to become aware of what he's doing, what he or she's doing to you, and have that relationship improve and do even more work faster and more efficient and make even more money together than you would have if you just kept piling it on. So addressing this will actually create that situation that the boss ultimately wants, which is doing more in less time or more in the same amount of time. If you implement some of these things, we're not going to cover everything. We want to keep our episodes to a reasonable amount, and we want to give you guys just enough to chew and try out for yourself. We don't want to give you the whole elephant all at once, right? So that wouldn't be good either. So, Steve, when you hear of an do more boss uh, or a similar situation, what first comes to mind that you would put into play?
Yeah. So if you already have a bunch of high priority projects going on right now, and then you're approached to be given, say, a couple more, the first thing is you got to manage the expectations right off the bat. Be like, yes, I could do those if such and such happens, right? Whether it's the cost goes up on some of these other projects, or if the time gets extended a little bit, manage the expectations from them that yes, I can do the work itself, but it affects the overall scope of the projects that I'm working on. And that ties into the other thing where if it's a lot of times they will come to you and ask, hey, would you like to do this thing? And sometimes it's like the extracurricular things, and sometimes you really do want to do it. Say it's, hey, I want to manage the internship program, and they come to you like, hey, can you do this? And you have to set your boundaries. You have to say, I would love to do that, but I have all these other projects going on right now, and I just do not have the bandwidth to support that. I can help you either find someone to take it on, and I can give them ideas, or I can pass a project off to someone that is better equipped to handle that project anyways, and then I can take this on. So managing the expectations of what you are capable of doing, and putting that decision back on to the requester, I think is a good first step.
I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but there were a lot of things you just said, a lot of angles, not just the one about managing the expectation. It to me, I heard, hey, we can partner in this. If I can bring somebody, let's check with some other people and see what their workload is like or what their expertise is or what they think about what we're tackling. And maybe we can play some sort of reduced role in that,
Mm-hmm.
have the same outcome that we want, but someone else is doing a lot of the work because maybe they're not as busy or they're in a downtime.
Yeah.
I heard that. I heard, hey, we can do this, but is this thing that we're about to embark on so important that we have to squeeze it in, number one, but number two, the things that we're working on right now are not going to get the attention that I believe they deserve to be a superior product that is in line with our values. Now, we can always pick and choose certain projects that are in certain phases, right? That have a certain outcome that is desired and weigh those against the one that we're talking about now. And we can say, hey, look, if I did it to the level that I'm doing it right now, it's going to be really good. It's going to be a home run. But do we need this one to be a home run? Or can I give this to so and so and they're not as experienced as me. They don't see the path. They don't know exactly how to get it done, but I can help them through it, and they do all right, and we deliver something that's good enough. And then that will make room for me to tackle this new thing that's more important. So that's the second thing I heard. Those two stood out to me.
Yeah.
How to do that. Do you like the balloons that just came up?
That was new.
So I just got, okay, I'm just going to completely interrupt the show. We're going to try some things. Let me try this. So if I see my thumbs up there.
All right.
Oh man, this is cool. I got a new MacBook Pro, and apparently it's analyzing my hand gestures. Oh my God, the double thumbs up gives you fireworks, bro. All right. What we were talking about is not important. This is so cool. Let's do the fireworks again.
That's how important it is.
That's right. Social clip right here.
Yeah.
Whew, that was good. All right. So, Steve, can you tell me more about one of those? Let's do one. What do you think? So let's reframe this just a little bit. Let's set the stage. Let's say it's like a 0 to 3 year person who might not, I don't know, maybe have the confidence of their relationship yet, or whatever it takes to implement these things. But if they were to implement one of them, what do you think they should start with? Hey, my fellow impactful engineers, if there's one thing that you could do to help out this community, is to keep listening to the podcast, but also if you found value in it, to share it with one person, give us a 5-star review, or even leave a text review. It'll only take a few seconds of your time. Find that person that you think could enjoy some of this or learn from it, and pass on the good word. Now back to the show.
If they are incredibly inexperienced in the project that is being asked, say it's a brand new thing, they can say, hey, that sounds like a great opportunity. I'm pretty tied up, but is there someone I can partner with that has experience in this area that I can learn from and be really effective at this type of project? And I can support them and take on some workload, but maybe they can take the heavy hitting part of it. So that way, when the next one comes along, I can take it full force, and I already understand how to do it the right way and effective, and then I could take it on entirely myself.
Yeah, I like that. That's a great way to kind of say, if I take this on myself, it's going to get bumpy, and it's not going to be fun. And and with my experience, like switching to me right now, in my experience, I welcome those kinds of things. But as a 0 to 3 year, it's like, should you do that? Because do you have the mindset for it? Do you have the confidence? Do you have the ability to go, well, that was a shit show. Cool. What's next? Because that's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I told you up front that this is going to be bumpy and we might fail hard if I take this on by myself, but I'll do my best. And then everybody agreed. And it's like, okay. So when the outcome comes and it doesn't go so well, it's like, well, what more could I have expected? But I learned I learned these things and that. But if you're probably not in that great zone of confidence as a newer engineer. So it's like, that's a great way to say, let me take on little bits of it and I will support, and maybe I'll be able to do more than I think, but I want that person to come in to direct a little more if there's somebody available, so that we can be the yin and the yang, right? Another way that I have done it in the past was, okay, I think I can do this the way that you have explicitly said it should be done, that I should be the only one that needs to work on it to get it done. And here's my resources. Like, I think I can do this, but I would like the opportunity within a week or two that if I feel like we're going to crash and burn, that I get to raise my hand and say, hey, I need a little more help in these certain areas. These are the things I'm running into. I see it happening. Give me some extra resources on this. Like, so that you pre-negotiate the ability to do that. So that everybody's on the same page. So that's worked well for me in the past. It's like, hey, I get to raise my hand. And sometimes I'll raise my hand and they'll be like, well, there's no one else. It's like, oh, damn. So then you get into that mode of like, well, if it was a very well managed team, you would raise your hand. They would say, we have no one else, but they would work with you to figure it out and assure you that it's not all on your shoulders, right? And you would find a way to get it done within a reasonable amount of time. What I find, I'll go a little deeper. What I find when I run into that exact scenario, and remember, we're talking about a do more boss. So like, do more. cool. I'm going to do the thing, but I'm going to start like really trimming the fat. There's things you want to do on a project that are the ideal and optimal situation. And you want to hit everything, and you're hitting your communication well, and you're making everybody feel great on the team, and you're hitting these markers, and you're getting the design out, and you're asking the right questions, and the vendors lined up, and you've got their response, and all your critical path items are going exactly the way you want. Like if it's all lined up perfect for you, but then it's like, oh, I don't have enough time to do all that. So you start hacking stuff. Like I'm not going to send that communication out because I need that 30 minutes to do this. Okay. That's a drop, but it's a worthwhile drop because we need to get this done. And then you start saying, that would be absolutely perfect in a perfect bidding world. The contractor would love to see all of this, but we're going to rely on them a little bit to fill some gaps. And I'm not going to do that interconnection the way I wanted it to. I'm not going to, or the way I wanted to do it. I'm going to start paring this down. There's going to be 2 less sheets, so I don't have to review 2 more sheets. We're going to pare it down so that we can get it done in the time frame that they want for your do more boss. So that's another strategy that you can deploy. Now, you have to have the experience about what can I trim, because you might not even know what is involved. You're just trying to survive at that point.
Yeah,
and go,
and
I didn't know those details were needed.
yeah, and to that point, if you are in that situation where you don't know all the processes and the shortcuts, right? Ask them. Be like, okay, how can I truncate this other project and maybe work around some of the heavier parts of that project so I can put more time into this new one. Obviously, if they're your boss, they're typically going to know the process a lot more thoroughly than most, and they'll be able to say, oh yeah, you don't have to actually do this testing over here or do these new drawings over here or whatever, because we have reference things over here, whatever, it doesn't matter. And they'll kind of open the door to those options to shorten your other projects, and you can bank that for later, just in other projects to be more effective in general. But that'll allow you to have that extra bandwidth.
Yeah. And we'll probably talk more about how you can kind of volley with your boss and ask good questions, or because what we're talking about right now is kind of like putting it all on the boss, but let's take responsibility for ourselves too. And there's just as much that you can do without, be intentional about asking questions, and really peeling back the layers to figure out how you get it done for yourself, for your boss, because you can take responsibility for it too.
Absolutely.
So there's things that you don't know that need to happen, or maybe you're assuming that everything needs to happen, or here's a more common scenario, is you're working on the one thing you think is really important. There's all these other things that are really important that you just don't even know about yet. But your boss is out assuming that which may or may not, there's different levels of that, right? As the relationship builds. But what you can do is say, hey, if the time frame is this, and what I know, you kind of get where I'm at what level. Is this realistic? How do I make it more realistic? What would I do? What would you do in my position to get this done correctly? Can you put up some goalposts for me and maybe some bumpers on the alley? Can you do that for me so that I know what to work within? There's all sorts of stuff you can do. It's like, hey, tell me what other things I'm not seeing that I need to be focusing on, and tell me if those things can be maybe delegated to somebody, or what information am I missing that I need to ask now so that I have the answer in a week, instead of asking in a week and then it's pushed another week to get the answer. Go over some checklists with me. Do you guys have checklists about what should be in each phase? What's the most important thing? You see where I'm going?
Mm-hmm.
Ask a bunch of questions to try and get yourself in a place where you have the goalpost in sight and you can work straight towards it. All right. So that's kind of like what you can do personally. Increase the communication and ask more questions. Don't assume that you should know everything and keep your mouth shut and just work hard because you think that's what's expected. All right. Talk about the expectations. I think personally, I very much appreciate, and a lot of the co-ops that I have in for the program are so good at this. I'll send them something, right? And I always forget to say something of pretty big importance. And they'll come back and be like, hey, what's the expected deadline on this? How many hours do you think it'll take me? What are the resources that I need to be able to get this done? Like, they literally ask me that question. Like, who can I talk to about getting this done? It's like, oh yeah, you don't know how to do that. Right. oh yeah, there's all these little steps in between that my brain just filled in automatically that you have no clue about. So it's going to help you a lot to ask questions. And I think your boss will appreciate that a lot. And it'll improve that messaging between you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's important to keep up your level of communication constantly between you and your management, because the more they understand how you operate and your capabilities, the better that they'll be able to help you um, manage your workload and not over load you with a ton of projects, and you can do the same back with them and manage those expectations.
Absolutely. And sometimes, well, in the consulting world, I would say the default culture is like definitely overworking. People overwork all the time in this industry. So, really creating the culture of balance within a company or stepping into a company that already has that established is going to put you way far ahead in having to deal with this sort of problem. So, but even within joining a company that the culture is work life balance, or whatever you want to call it nowadays, there's still going to be examples of this happening with nobody really intending it to happen and nobody really doing it maliciously, or just they're going to be unaware. And it's not always going to be one person giving you assignments that buries you. It's going to be a lot of other people with all of their own
Yeah,
problems
that's more
that you
common.
get caught in the crossfire.
Yep.
Right. And so I really want to hit on that real quick, Steve, if that's
Oh
cool,
yeah.
because you're going to take some of the things that we talked about, which I think is enough already, and it could still really not work out. And you wonder why. So I think one more would be to talk about um, this getting caught in the crossfire of all of these separate and other players in the organization that you get in their sights, right? You're going to, oh, Jake's available for this? Cool. I haven't worked with him much, but if he's available, boom, I'm going to hit him with it. He's available could mean many things to many different people. And the person saying he's available may not even know what you're working on and that you're already buried, right? So know that that can happen. And so you have to take these tactics and that open communication and apply it to all the people that you work with, not just your boss. All right. Your boss is not the sole source of this.
Yeah, and that's more common than just a single manager overworking you, right? It's usually going to
I would say
be
so.
multiple people who are requesting from different teams that don't always communicate with each other. So getting that open communication between all the different teams, I mean, that in itself will more often than not solve itself.
Just by participating.
Yeah, just by getting alignment between all the different teams. If you have a project management team and an engineering team and a sourcing team and a manufacturing team, and they all want different things from you, you're going to be able to, get on an email chain with all the people who are asking for the work and be like, hey, I have X amount of projects, and can you guys help me figure out this priority? And this is kind of what I think it is going to be. These 3 projects are to the top, and blah blah blah. Go down the list, but can I just get some help identifying what's the most critical to mission project that I can work on, and then I may have some timeline slips on my lowest hanging fruit, or not, the lowest priority.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a good segue into like it is up to you. Like nobody else cares. And what I mean by that is like we're all humans trying to work together with certain titles and abilities, and it's never going to be perfect unless it'll never be perfect, but you can get close if you take it upon yourself to make this stuff happen. So be prepared. Like you were talking about that list of projects, get used to right away tracking all of your assignments, all of the projects that you have. Know the overall deadlines. Don't just know your piece. Know, like, get really good at tracking assignments and projects and the timeline and who's working on things and the bigger picture. Because if you go to someone and say, look, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this, but you have no explanation and you can't read off what you are working on and when they're due and why you think you won't have time for it, they're going to run you over. Or they're going to see you as someone that's not prepared and is just trying to shove work back off, right? If you have if you have people that are a little more aware of all of these workings and have most people are aware, trust me, but most people don't take the time to address it with you. They just want your problem to go away from them. So you will run into people that do care and that will interject and go, hey, look, I see what you're saying, but here's how you be more effective at it. And I do know what's happening because I've been around a long time. So, but let me sit you down and talk to you about how this works and all that. You'll find some really gracious people like that, people that really care. And they care because they know if they do that, the team will be better and that they'll make more money and be happier. And do it in a way that creates a culture of balance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But not everybody does that.
And touching on your bigger picture comment, you may be working on something that you think is incredibly important and putting off something else. But if that something else is gating a much larger project, like if you're just in charge of the drawings, right, for a certain project, but that big multi-million-dollar project can't progress until those drawings are done, that's a very important critical task that you have to get done, just as an example. And so anytime that there's going to be some sort of slippage or something's not getting attention, you need to communicate that immediately, as quickly as you can, to the stakeholder of that project. Like, hey, I'm not working on this right now because I'm working on this other critical thing. I want to let you know that there's a potential for it to slip a week. And if this is going to cause greater problems for a much larger project, please let me know and I can reassess. But until then, I'm going to be working on this other thing.
Yeah. And it puts it in their court to go talk to the other manager that's taking you away from that project, off of that project, to talk it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect. That's perfect. One last thing I'll add before we end the show here. Allow yourself to get into the mud and to get punched in the face and to run into those problems. And you're going to get cornered more than once, and you're going to feel like there's no way out. And you're going to think that you just need to work harder and harder and harder for longer and longer and longer. It's okay. Just remember to reflect back on what we've said. Think about how you can start influencing others to help you become more balanced. And it's through communication, and it's through being in the trenches with everybody. So don't expect all these things to work right away. Just come in with a good attitude, get into the trenches, maybe get beat up a little bit, and keep going. But you're looking for that overall change and for things to get better over time, right? So don't expect it to be right away that all of this stuff works. There will be resistance. There always is. But just push through it and be okay with the resistance for a while. I think that's it.
You got the newsletter thing.
The newsletter thing. Yeah, we have a newsletter, guys. Check it out. Go to impactfulengineer.com. Submit questions if you have questions. Give us your email, and then you'll sign up for the newsletter. And we promise we won't spam the shit out of you. We'll only send you newsletter stuff.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. I mean, we're a little biased on it, but it recaps the episodes well. It gives you the main points, right? So you've listened to this thing, and it's like, oh my God, what'd they say? I mean, you could go listen to it again, take notes, but the newsletter really sum it up nice for you.
Yeah.
Till next time.